Hey, this is Russell Brunson, and obviously I talk a lot about when you're creating a funnel to actually go first and look at other people's funnels and model them. And so I'm going to be walking you through one of our funnels. This is our supplement funnel. And I know that a lot of people who are watching this aren't going to be creating a supplement, but there's a lot of things you can learn from this funnel if you're using an information product funnel or software, whatever it is you're kind of using. So, and there'll be some things that are different as well. So I'll kind of talk about those things and mention both sides of it, so you'll have a good understanding as you're kind of trying to decide how to use this layout and these ideas for your own funnel. So the first thing is the website's called Nourishcell, and this is our product. And again, I'm going to show you the upsells, the downsells, and talk about the psychology behind each page, what we did, why we did it. So this is actually the first version of the page that we started testing, and we did this because this is a page layout that we've tested a lot over in the business opportunity market, and it was a variation we tested tons of different things with. And what was working the best at the time we created this page was having a logo here, countdown clock, and add to cart button on top, which defies all logic, but we saw someone in the weight loss space doing that, and they had like a 38% increase by adding the add to cart above their video. So we tried the same thing, and we saw really similar results, which was kind of crazy. So we did that up there. We had our headline, and then we had our whole sales video here. And then down here with the add to cart button, and down here is what we call a video spoiler box, where we've seen in most places we've tested this idea have seen dramatic increase in conversions. And so pretty much by default, every time we have a sales video now, we always have, in today's free presentation, we have 4 blocks: images, red, black, and just kind of model this concept because it just works really, really well. So this is basically, when we go into a new market, this is kind of our control, because it's what we've from 2 years of testing, this is what we kind of found was our best control to begin with. And some markets it still wins, other markets it doesn't. It just kind of depends. But like I said, typically we start with our control. And so this was our control. Sales videos here, and they click on the add to cart button, and it would open up the order form down below here. And some of the supplement funnels we were modeling, we're also doing 1, 3, and 4 bottles. They're doing these price points. We kind of modeled that. We had a countdown clock up here. We had the discount price right here, and then we had the steps. So checkout, customize your order, order confirmation. And checkout's obviously where they're paying. Customize your order is where it's going to be more them doing their upsells and stuff, and this will be the confirmation. And so this is kind of how we did this page. We showed by default, we showed the 4 bottle. They could change to the 3 or to the 1. And they'd see the different options here. We have a money back guarantee and things like that. Shipping speed, other testimonials, some security sales. And so that's kind of, like I said, became was our control. We launched with that, and it was actually doing really, really well. We were really happy with it. Front end conversions were really good, and I'll show you guys the upsell, downsell stuff here in a minute. But it worked really well as well. And so that's kind of our initial thing. So for most of you guys who are selling info products or things like that, this type of a template is what I would start with. Something where it's video, sales letter, headline, add to cart button, video spoiler box, and then if you have order form on page is good. If you're using a third-party cart, a lot of times you have to have this button open over to the other order form. So it just kind of depends on what you're doing, but that was our control. So we started testing with that, and then we tried a bunch of variations to try to beat it. And we tried one that was basically, we took the sales video and we made a long-form sales letter version, as you can see here. And it had the headline, it broke out the 2 testimonial videos on top, and then went into the sales letter. And we did it. I wanted to model a style that I've seen Vishen Lakhani, who is really successful in the personal development space. He owns a company called mindvalley.com, and he's done a lot of these like blocked style sales letters. And so we thought it would be fun to kind of model that concept, where each block is really focusing on one core concept of a story, and kind of brings it down. So this was our first block, and then here's the next block and the third block. And so typically I wouldn't have thought this kind of a layout would work that well. But for this market, this letter, whatever you want to call it, it did really, really well. And I think part of it is because our demographic for this product are a lot older, and so a lot of them don't like watching videos as much, but sales letters work really, really good. And so the sales letter format dramatically beat for us the video format. But again, like I said, most markets it hasn't been that way for us. Most markets, the sales video typically is the winner. So I'm just going to scroll through here so you guys can kind of see all the different pages and blocks and kind of what we did. So if you do want to test out this style of the sales letter, you can. But this kind of takes a lot more effort, a lot more money. And I said for most markets, this doesn't win. I'm actually surprised we actually tested it. I have a really good sales letter designer, so I thought it'd be fun. So I hired him to do it, and just turned out that it won. And so, but for the most part, I wouldn't typically start with the sales letter just because it takes so much more to create than it is a sales video. Sales videos for us are much easier to create and to put out there. So this is the page. You can right here we have our different pricing options: the 1 bottle, the 3 bottle, and the 4 bottle. We have our phone numbers, and this is something we noticed on all of Vision's sites as well. Was at the end he had like 6 more reasons why you'll love this, and these little blocks down here, which I thought were kind of cool. One of our students actually tested those blocks on the bottom of his video sales letter page, and it actually hurt his conversions a lot. Where in a long form sales letter, it did really, really well. So just kind of interesting how some of those things, some work and some don't work. Let me see. So what I recommend for most of you guys is to start, if you're creating a new funnel, start with this kind of thing because it's faster, easier to test, to get running. But it's definitely worth going through and testing a sales letter version as well, because you never really know what it is people are going to respond to. I was talking to John Benson, who's kind of like the king of the sales funnel. Or of the video sales letter, and he said something that was interesting. He said that sales videos are important if you are introducing somebody to a new concept, because you don't want them to scroll and just kind of find stuff, and you need to tell a story in a very certain way. But he says, but if they already know the concept, like for us, the concept is I'm in nerve pain, right? They already know the concept. He said the sales letters always do better because you don't have to convince somebody. You're not trying to explain somebody or sell them on a new idea or a new thing. These guys already, they know the idea. They just need to be sold on why yours is the best. And so that was kind of his difference, what I thought was kind of cool. So sales videos work really good if you are trying to introduce them to something, because sales video, they can't just fast forward or rewind. They're kind of here and they watch it, and they've got to, you're drip feeding them the story that you want them to hear in the order you want them to hear it. Okay, so that's kind of the first 2 pages. We split test these 2, and for us, this one is the current control. And it's doing really well. So there it is. Now, a couple things we did is we added an exit pop. When somebody leaves here, we popped out this right here, because if you notice our payment option here, we're going for 1, 3, or 4 bottles. And when we first launched this product, we were doing just continuity. We were trying to get people on continuity, but we just couldn't make the numbers work. But we still like people getting on continuity, so we add this exit pop that comes up. It says, hey, claim your free sample. Enter your info down here. So they put in their name, talk about what they're suffering from, their age, and they can see if they qualify for this sample. And when they do that, click here, and most people will qualify. And then we same thing, countdown clock, and we get them in. But it's a trial that pushes them into a continuity program. And so that's kind of the difference here. If they come through here, it's a continuity program, and it's a 14-day trial, and then after that, it's $49 per month. And we get a lot of people coming through this path as well. Now, one other interesting thing that isn't for all markets, but for ours, a lot of our people have fear of actually ordering online for whatever reason. And so we added a phone number on. You'll notice on a lot of places on our page, we've got phone numbers next to all the ordering options. Next to all the order forms, we have this. And I would say right now, probably 22% of our sales or so are coming from people picking up the phone and actually calling. So definitely kind of interesting to note that there's a big percentage of people who won't ever buy online, and by adding a phone number, you can pick up a big percentage of those people, which is kind of cool. All right, so that's the first step. You're going to come here. We exit pop out a trial. Then after they purchase, after they've gone through the order form, so I will scroll down here really quick to the order form, and they click on it. Takes them to our order form, which looks very similar to the one you guys saw on the video sales letter page. It's got 1, 3, 4 bottles, all the stuff down here. And so after they buy that, now we take them into our upsell, downsell sequence. Okay. Now I'm going to show you guys what works in the supplement world, but obviously it's actually really different in information products and other things like that. In the supplement world, what works the best as an upsell is more of the same thing. So here they just bought 1, 3, or 4 bottles. And so our first upsell now, right here, is we offer them 6 more bottles of what they just bought. Okay, so wait, special one-time offer, do not close. One thing we had a lot of with our older demographic, we had a lot of people confused about this, and they were freaking out and calling us and complaining. So we added, your order has been confirmed and will be shipping out soon, which dramatically lowered our complaint rate, which was really nice. And so we gave them the option to get more Nurse Salt, $39 a bottle, but they're getting 6 bottles. So if you notice, the price point is $235. Now we at first didn't have this. We got tons of people complaining because they thought they were paying $39 and they were paying $235. So we added that so they were very clear that that's what it was going to be. And that helped a lot with upset people. And they had no thanks here. And right now I'd say between 20 and 30% of the people who see this page upgrade and buy 6 more bottles, pays $235. Okay, now I've talked about this before, but what we found is there's 2 really core metrics that drive this business for us. The first one is, what's our cost to acquire a customer? What does it take for us to sell 1, 3, or 4 bottles? And the second metric is, what's our average cart value? So when somebody goes through this entire upsell, downsell sequence, what's the average amount of money we make in the cart? Okay, so for example, in this funnel, we may be paying $80 to acquire a customer, but our average cart value is $160, so we're doubling over on it. You do that by having good upsells and good high-ticket upsells. So that's why this upsell is so high, because we need to increase our average cart value, and that's what we did here. Okay, so this is where ours goes right now. Now, one thing that we're going to be testing soon that I've seen a couple of people doing in the supplement space really successfully is they come back here and they change the upsell depending on what they're going to buy here. So somebody buys 1 bottle, then they sell them over here 2 more bottles. If somebody buys 3 bottles, and they sell them like 3 more bottles, and then 4, they sell 4 more. So they're kind of matched with what the prior order is, as opposed to, somebody buys 4, they probably don't want to buy 6 more. But if they buy 1, they might want to buy 6 more because it's a big discounter. Just kind of like matching upsells with what the front end product is. Now, we haven't done that yet for our business, but we're planning to in the near future. Okay. Now, one thing I want to mention is that if you're in an information-based business, having more of the same thing as an upsell is the worst thing you can do. That's what typically will like dramatically kill your sales. If someone buys it, like for example, we have a conversion product, our .com Secrets Labs, and our first upsell used to be more testing stuff. And I thought, hey, people are going to love this, and I was completely wrong. When we added that upsell in there, it was like 3 or 4% take rate, and I realized that people, in their mind, they have a pain, they have something happening to them, right? And so for, like say for our conversion product, they have a pain, they need better conversions. And so they buy our book. In their mind, even though they haven't satisfied that problem yet, in their mind it's been done, it's been taken care of. I bought this book, so that's taken care of. Okay, if your next thing's like, hey, here's more conversion stuff, they're like, well, I just solved that problem. That problem's no longer my problem anymore. And so it kind of hurts that sell, if that makes sense. And so what we do is we have to come back and kind of retweak it and convince them. Or not convince them, but offer them something new, some other pain that they might have. So for our info product funnel, we found that going from conversion, then the first upsell was like, hey, you've got conversion figured out now, but next thing you need sales, okay, or you need traffic. And so our next upsell became traffic, and a huge percentage of people took that because they already had conversions. Now they needed traffic. Okay, and then our second upsell after that was, you got conversion now, you got sales. Last thing you need is you already have conversion, you already have traffic. Third thing you need is sales, and our third upsell became our sales product, and it converted really, really well. So a lot of it with info products is understanding psychology of, whatever they've bought that scratched that itch. So what's the next thing they need? What's the next problem that opens up? And if you can figure that piece out, that's how you get maximum conversions on the upsells. Okay, so I want to make sure that if you're selling info products, you're not selling more of the same thing on the upsell, because that will backfire for you. But for supplements, for whatever reason, it works great. I think part of it is because they buy it knowing that they need it, especially if it's a pain product or weight loss product or something, and they have an option to get 6 more cheaper. They know it's gonna be hard for me to remember to come back and buy this, and all those different things that kind of come up in your head. Whereas with an upsell like this, it's like, hey, I can not have to worry about it. I get a big discount. I'm just going to do it. And so it works really well. Okay. So the yes here, and then obviously we have the no thanks. One thing we found about no thanks links is if you just say no thanks, take me next to the members area, or no thanks, I don't want this offer. That's a positive benefit. And you don't want a positive for the no thanks link. You want to tie it to a negative. So right now it says no thanks. I'll wait until next year to get more nerds, sell $100 per bottle. Like that's a big negative. Like, oh, I don't want to pay $100 a bottle. All right, I'll get 6 for $235. This becomes a negative qualifier. Another thing that I found out, I haven't done this yet on this funnel, but Dagan Smith did this and showed it to me, where you clicked on no thanks, he would have a pop-up come up that have a video testimonial talking about the person, and then a yes and no button. And he was getting like 30% of people who said no to then go and say yes after clicking on the no thanks button. That's another really cool thing to test there as well. So that was our first upsell here. Then our second upsell now was this cream called Neuramend. Okay, so what we decided to do was to give them 3 bottles of Neuramend for $80. And again, I needed a big price point because we're trying to increase our average cart value so we can cover our ad spend and things like that. So we increased the package and made it 3 more bottles, and then we did that, and then yeah, that's kind of a very simple offer, right? 3 more bottles. No thanks. We had to kind of convince them again of what this was, and hey, you're taking NerveCell, which is going to be helping all the nerves inside of your body, but you still have external pains and nerves and things like that as well, and so we need to help cover those as well. And that's what NeuroMend is external cream that'll help you from the outside in. So that was kind of this first upsell. Now, okay, so this was, like I said, our first upsell was 3. And then people didn't buy it. I figured that in their mind that the psychology is like, hey, they didn't buy 3, so let me downsell just 1 bottle then. So instead I said, hey, how about if you don't want to buy 3, that's cool. Let's do a sample. So this is called the downsell. You notice a lot of times we always have our upsells, but if they say no to that, then we'll give them a downsell. If they say yes to that, they skip that step. But if they say no to it, then we give them a downsell. So from here we went from 3 bottles to then we downsold them on just 1 bottle for $40. Okay, and so what we do in info products, the same kind of thing. Maybe we'll sell a package for, $997 an upsell. And if they say no, then we say, okay, maybe the whole thing's too much, but the most important part is this right here. How about for $197, I'll give you just this. Okay, or I've seen people do it where the downsell is a payment plan, or I've seen the downsell is the digital version instead of the physical version. So different ways to do downsells, but if somebody says no to something, it doesn't mean they don't want it. A lot of times it means they can't afford it. And so usually this video starts with something like, hey, if you can't afford, if you said no to the last offer, the only logical reason is you can't afford it right now. So we want to make that, we want to get rid of that excuse or whatever. And so what we decided to do is we're going to discount it, or we're going to blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So discount it, payment plan it, whatever it is for the downsell. And again, people only see the downsell if they say no to this. If they say yes to this, then we skip this page altogether. Okay? All right. And then after that, then if they do purchase either 3 or 1, then we do the same thing we did back here in NeuroCell. We added 6 more bottles. If they said yes to 3 or to 1, then we try to upsell them 6 more one more time at a huge discount. So for $139, so $23 a tube, they'll get 6 of them. And again, we get it probably about 10 to 12% of the people to take this one. Okay, and so this is kind of so you kind of have upsells, downsells. They bump up if they go from here 1, 3, 4. We bump them up to 6, and then here we go from 3. If they say no, then we drop them down to 1. And they say yes, we bump them back up to a higher price. Does that make sense? So kind of depending on the path that they pick, depends on what they're actually going to see through that process. And then again, same thing. Yes, upgrade my order now, or no thanks, I'll wait till next year. So the negative qualifier there. And then that's kind of the end of this funnel right now. Now I've seen people keep adding more and more things to this funnel if you wanted to, but you don't have to either. It just kind of depends on what you want to do and your tolerance and your customer's tolerance with multiple upsells. But again, the key in all of this is we got to figure out ways to increase our average cart value. And you do that by having good upsells and good downsells. And what I recommend doing is always have at least two upsells. That'll get you to the spot where typically, as long as they're converting well, you'll be making enough money that you'll be able to at least cover your ad spend and hopefully make a profit. Okay, now after they go through that, then the last page then takes them thank you page, tells them we're shipping stuff out to them. And the one thing here is you can start throwing in affiliate offers. So this is an affiliate offer we have. Again, it's not our product. It's someone else's product, and they get a discount to click here. So it's kind of a really good offer for them. And we make affiliate commissions as well. And now we got the people who this is their product, we get them to drive traffic into the front end as well. So it's kind of a win-win that doesn't really hurt them, it doesn't hurt them, it doesn't hurt your sales process at all. It just kind of gives them more value, and you get paid for it as well. And so there's tons of different offers you can then put on the thank you page as well. And so that's kind of the core supplement funnel that we're currently doing. I showed you some of the pages we split test here. So you got our video sales letter and our long form sales letter. I showed you our exit pop. I showed you our upsells, and I talked about some of the strategy behind what we're tweaking, what we're going to be changing in the near future on upsell based on what they buy on the front. Talked about our upsells, talked about our downsells, talked about our re-upsells as they do purchase, and then showed you kind of the thank you page and the strategy there at the end. And so when you guys start building out your funnels, that's kind of the same process. What we do is we architect it first. What are the pages? And the second step, we go into ClickFunnels and actually build out those pages. Here's a little paintbrush program to show you kind of how I do it. So what I'll do is I'll map out my product and say, okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have my video sales letter here. Here's my video, and then if they click on this button, then it'll take me over to the order form. It's going to look like this. And from there, I'm going to have upsell number 1. That'll be this. If they say no to that, then I'm going to downsell this right here, which will be a payment plan. So maybe it's 2 pay of whatever. And then if they say yes, though, then I'm going to sell them this right here. So maybe the price point of this one will be like $197. This will be 2 times 97, so it's payment plan. And then right here, maybe I'll have a $297 offer. They leave this page, I'll exit pop out, maybe a trial over here. So trial, and that's kind of what I do. I map out this whole process, what it's going to look like, what each page is going to look like first. And that's where a lot of people get stuck. They see a funnel and they just kind of forget it. They're like, okay, I'm going to make my own, and they forget about it. You know, for me, whenever I'm working with a client or anyone, the first step is mapping out like this. So I see exactly, I need this page, this page, this page. You know, I need all these pages created. Now, after you have that, then it's very simple now to log into ClickFunnels and just build out those funnel pages really, really quickly. Let me show you how I do that. So I'm going to log into my ClickFunnels account. When you're in ClickFunnels, there's a bunch of different types of funnels you can create. You have opt-in funnels, sales funnels, webinar funnels, automated webinar funnels, membership funnels, launch funnels. What I do a lot of times is just custom funnels. So I'm going to kind of build this thing out together. So I'll make a fake funnel real quick for you guys to show you kind of the strategy behind it. All right, so go here, and then I've got pages. So the first page by default gives me an opt-in page, which depending may or may not fit here. So I don't have an opt-in page, so maybe I'll delete that, but maybe my first page will be a sales page. So click on add new page. I call this my video sales letter. So I click on that, create the funnel step. And so what it's going to do is it's going to create that page, and it'll show it down here. I got to pick a template. So if I click on this little green thing, I can scroll through here and find a lot of ones. I'm going to find a sales template. And then I look through here and find one that I like. So maybe I like this one right here. So I'm going to use that template, and that becomes my sales page. And again, it's going to hopefully model, like a page that I like out here. So I'm going to find that page first. And then right now, except here's my funnel pages, and these are extra pages. So if I add extra pages, I come down here and I click add to funnel, and it's going to jump that page from down here up into my actual funnel. All right, and now I don't have an opt-in page, so I'm going to delete that right here. And so the first page will be my video sales page. Okay, you see that now we got page number 1 built out. So now I got to build out page number 2, which is my order form. Click on add new page. Click in order form. Create new funnel step, and it'll create my order form page. Okay, then I come right here and I pick a template. So I'm going to click on this green thing and find order form. There we go. And then pick which order form I like. And again, I can look over here. Which one do I want to model? I'm going to model. If I want to model this one right here, and this, whatever it is, I can look what it looks like. And this one's got, left and the right. So maybe I'll model one of those left and the right ones. So that one's got left and the right. So I can use that template. And then that goes and creates my order form. Okay. And then I'll come down here and I'll click on this to make it add that page up into my funnel. And now I've got that page up there as well. Okay, so you guys see how this kind of works? I just go through and I literally go and I'm going to first off build out all these pages and get them all inside of ClickFunnels. Then after they're in there, then I'm going to come here and click on actual open in the editor, and then I can go and edit and create and make those pages. Okay, and so I'm not going to go through a huge explanation of how to do it, but it's really simple. I just click on things and then pick what kind of video. So my sales videos on YouTube, I click on YouTube and I put the YouTube URL in right there. Make it autoplay, and boom, it's ready to rock and roll. If I want to edit this headline, I can change that to, whatever I want to call it. All right, I can click the order links, I can add things, I can delete things, but really quickly I can go and find one that's successful, and I can model this and try to create something that looks as close as possible inside of ClickFunnels. Okay, so that's how it works, you guys. That's kind of the process. Again, first step is I find a funnel I like, I look at all the pages, I look at the upsells, the downsells, I draw it out, and then I map it out in my head, then I come and I sketch it out like this, then I log in ClickFunnels, I start building all the actual pages, and I work through it until I've got something that looks as close to the layout and look and the feel of the funnel I'm trying to model as possible. So I hope that helps you guys. Hope that gives you a really good idea about what we're doing and how we model these funnels and how the whole thing works. And I hope that you benefited a lot from this video. Again, my name is Russell Brunson from dotcomsecrets.com, and thanks for watching.